Ar veikia? Viskas gerai?
So hello everyone and welcome to the exciting world of Intelligent Energy Lab. Greetings from Vilnius, capital of Lithuania. My name is Andrius Milinavičius and it's my pleasure to be the host of this amazing Intelligent Energy Lab Hackathon. Intelligent Energy Lab Hackathon is a professional challenge that will take place for 3 days, starting from today, September 21. Our hackathon is happening together with annual Energy Tech Summit event. Our event is happening virtually for one key reason: for us to be able to connect district heating and cooling teams from various energy companies, startups, expert managers, engineers, and IT product developers. I bet not all of you that are watching this broadcast are fully aware about the Intelligent Energy Lab initiative, so spare me a few minutes for a decent presentation. With a growing demand for energy worldwide, the use of it must become more sustainable. At the same time, there is a growing need for an expansion and modernization of the existing energy infrastructure. This really requires a systematic optimization of the current energy systems. Vilnius City Municipality teamed up with Vilnius District Heating Company in order to launch a platform that is eager to invite and involve other companies, universities, institutes, and associate structures that care about the efficient energy use, sustainability, and the modern city energy sector. And there's more exciting things that I'd like to share with you all today. In August, Intelligent Energy Lab has celebrated its first birthday. May I ask you for a virtual applause? I believe everyone already did it. Another important milestone that was reached, today we already have more than 50 members. And of course, in a year in the lab, 13 different pilot projects and studies were launched. One of them is this amazing Intelligent Energy Lab Hackathon that we're launching today. We do know that all the people like to play. and vote, of course. Let's enhance our experience here today also. You should be seeing a QWERTY code on the bottom of your screens at the moment. Please scan it to get to our hackathon Slido page. If you don't see it or it's not comfortable for you to scan any QWERTY code, just go to slido.com and use our hashtag YELHack. You see it on the screen now, as I see it too. Without any further ado, let's start the event with the welcome speech delivered by the Deputy Mayor at Vilnius City Municipality, Valdas Benkunskas. All your eyes to the screen.
Good day, everyone. It's a great pleasure to meet you all here in Vilnius, whether you are here physically or virtually. And one way or another, we all here to make Vilnius even better, more innovative and greener than it is today. I will begin by saying that Vilnius, it's great for its openness to new approaches and innovations. What was once understood as satisfactory management of the city along with its energy companies no longer is. The city has to be constantly improving, considerate of its surroundings, and making changes the city dwellers don't even know they need yet. And to keep up to the standard, we must search for and implement the very best practices in the energy sectors. And actually, we are already up for huge improvements, among which are the development of central cooling system, low temperature district network, driving energy efficiency strategy, and waste heat and waste to heat solutions. But is it enough? Have we explored all possibilities? I believe that human mind can take us anywhere, and all the best solutions are yet to be discovered. However, our main goal is to find the shortest path to comfortable and future standard service for the city residents, which, with the help of renewable energy sources and smart technologies, would basically meet with measures of zero energy consumption, zero waste generation, water supply quality, and wastewater pollution reduction. So thank you for searching this path together, and best luck.
So much for your kind words, Mr. Deputy Mayor Valdas. And now I'd like to invite Mr. Gerimantas Bakanas, Chief Executive Officer at the Vilnius District Heating Company, to also say a welcoming speech. Hello.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Actually, must admit it's exciting to finally see this hackathon, which was just crazy sounding idea a year ago, turning into a real challenges and professional teams from all around the world joining to overcome it. It's my pleasure to welcome you here in this historical, symbolic place, the first power plant in Vilnius. Standing here, we can see how far we have come and yet how much we need to improve regarding to challenges of today's world. When creating the Intelligent Energy Lab platform more than years ago, actually, we were convinced that the only way to implement and develop innovation successfully is through cooperating among science, startups, private and public sector. So when passion for a better future unites all those elements, nothing is impossible. So therefore, this time we decided to go international and gather the experience and know-how from around the world. So here we are today hosting the international hackathon with more than 100 participants and also mentors from 14 different countries. And we are here to generate high-value, actionable digital and energy engineering solutions. and implement the already existing innovative ideas in one of the Europe's greenest capital, Vilnius. So therefore, I would like to thank to the Vilnius municipality, Deputy Major Valdas Benkunskas, the organizers of Energy Tech Summit, and to my team, Vilnius Šilumos tinklai team, that work so hard for this hackathon to become such a huge event. So thank you, you too, participants, for joining us in this journey, and I'm looking forward to see the results.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gerimantas. Thank you for your kind words. And indeed, it's going to be a very, very exciting, I would say, like weekend, exciting 3 days. And now, everyone, let's check the screen and let's check how did you vote on our first question. I see like we have, I'm sorry, which of the hackathon tracks are the most excited? Are you excited about heating and cooling? Of course, especially those who are living in the northern part of the planet, right? It suddenly became so much important to have a heating at home. And hopefully it's, you know, this Indian summer is still coming in. But we'll see, guys, we'll see. Okay, so thank you for your votes. Everyone, please do join on the Slido program because we have more questions coming up there. And now, let's already dive into our today's hackathon. As Mr. Gerimantas already mentioned, we will have 3 amazing days of development, research, innovation, and much more. Our main goal is to generate high-value, actionable digital and energy engineering solutions and implement that already existing innovative ideas in one of the Europe's greenest capitals, Vilnius. We have 12 different challenges that are being combined under 3 big blocks: heating and cooling, circular economy, green energy, and green transport. Let's briefly check each and every of the challenges. For the first one, heating and cooling category, I'd like to invite Paulius Martinkus from the Vilnius District Heating Company, Chief Strategy and Business Development Officer, to present the challenges. Hello.
Hello. Thank you. So I will present the district heating and cooling challenge. And here in Lithuania and in Vilnius in particular, I will give some numbers for the general context. And just to understand, district cooling in Lithuania is not yet in the place. So it is still a single buildings that have the cooling for themselves. So there is no pipeline or basically district cooling proposition. So therefore, I will talk about district heating numbers. So firstly, let's talk about the demand. So in Lithuania, we have almost 7 terawatt hours of demand. In Vilnius, it's a third of this, so 2.3 terawatt hours. Naturally, there are some losses in the grid. In Lithuania, on average, it's 15%, and in Lithuania, it's 13%. So relatively, the total heat supplied to the network is slightly higher. In Lithuania, we have a bit different system. So in the district heating network, it is allowed for independent heat producers to participate in the market. So roughly 40% of the total heat produced is produced by independent heat producer. So anybody can come and produce the heat and supply it straight to the network. And similar numbers are in Vilnius. It is roughly 36% in Vilnius is provided by the independent heat producers. Then talking about peak capacity during the coldest days of the winter, we have 2.8 gigawatts peak capacity in Lithuania and 1.1 in Vilnius. During summertime, or basically for the preparation of hot water, we have 380 megawatts in Lithuania and 130 megawatts in Vilnius. We have in total 716 households, 716,000 households connected to the district heating in Lithuania, and more than 200,000 in Vilnius. So, and these are the households, so basically the families. So there is quite a significant number of citizens of Lithuania that are being connected to the district heating. And in Lithuania, we have quite a significant share of renewable energy sources, and 75% in Lithuania comes mostly from the biomass or renewable energy sources. In Vilnius, we have slightly lower, 61, but one new biomass CHP plant is in commissioning. So we hope in next couple of years to reach 90% for renewable energy share. And we have almost 3,000 kilometers 3,000 kilometers of pipelines in Lithuania, and in Vilnius 750. So that was the general context, talking about strategic outlook. So, and talking about 2030, so in Vilnius we expect that by 2030 we'll have 100% energy produced for the district cooling and heating from renewable energy sources. 70% of the electricity in Lithuania will be produced locally. Why I am emphasizing 70%? Just because at the moment it's roughly 35% that is produced locally in Lithuania for electricity. And 45% of the electricity will come from renewable energy sources of the consumed electricity. So, bearing the context and strategic goals in mind, we should talk about the key trends. So, one of the key trends in the district heating is the decreasing temperatures. So, by decreasing the temperatures, we can increase the efficiency of the system. The life cycle of the pipelines increases almost twice, so more than 100 years could serve the pipelines which are of low temperature. Also, the low temperature allows us to integrate renewable energy sources and opens up the possibilities for prosumers. So basically the customers who are also producing the heat. And here in particular, we can talk about data centers, shopping malls, various transformers for electricity transformers, and other equipment that would feed in the heat to the grid. And also various solutions like power to heat, where electricity can be converted into the heat. And this electricity, this balance will be shifted to the district heating, this balance. Therefore, we need to talk about heat storage. So talking about heat storage, it sounds like a simple task or simple question to answer, yet it's not so simple after all. Should it be large, seasonal? Should it be medium term, or should it be daily storage? Whether it's possible to have it centralized, or should we think it about a decentralized model? What type of IT solutions we could provide for the decentralized models? And this is applicable actually for all of these topics, for prosumers, for heat storage, as well as for decreasing temperatures. So welcome. Very interesting tasks, and looking forward for your solutions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paulius. Dear everyone, that was Paulius Martinkus, Chief Strategy and Business Development Officer at Vilnius District Heating Company. And now let's look again at the screen for the second voting result that every one of you already hopefully tried to do. Okay, what are the biggest challenges in heating and cooling? All of the above. Of course, guys, of course. But you have, for these 3 days, you have a chance to choose one challenge that you'd love to solve. Either it's heat storage, energy prosumers, or transition from the third to the fourth generation district heating. Thank you so much for your answers, and stay tuned for the next question. And let's move on to our second category of our hackathon challenges. And it's circular economy, and I'd like to invite Domantas Tracevičius, circularity economist and EU Climate Pact ambassador, founder and manager of the NGO Circular Economy, or Žiedne ekonomika, how it would be pronounced in Lithuanian. Hello and
Hi.
welcome.
Pleasure
How are you
to be
doing?
here.
Fine?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Hi, everyone. So I'll try to talk about circular economy in its basic concepts. So even though we have an event here, which is to promote circular economy solutions, we still have single-use coffee cups backstage. So it will take some time until even the events will change. But to imagine circular economy, we should start with molecules. Everything is atoms and molecules. Some we want to have, some we don't really want to have. So think about those toxic molecules that are not really welcome. So this is the circular economy model, which is drawn by Ellen MacArthur Foundation. I hope some of you are already familiar with it. It has technical and biological part. Basically, we see those molecules going, some of them in circles, some not. So biological part is fairly simple and straightforward. If we have overcapacity of good consumable food, if we have something that we can eat, but we cannot, either if we're full or it's a huge event and we have leftovers, we can donate it. This would be the highest priority for foods. Then, if the food is not edible, we can send it to the animals. And now the big trend is our insects. And insects can then be fed to animals because usually the food that is discarded is not suitable not only for people, but to animals as well. Well, of course, if something that is not suitable for insects, then we can get electricity and heat out of it. I'm talking about anaerobic digestion, and then is composting. So in this way, we could more or less close the loop on biological side. So if we come back again to the model, we can see that in order to close it, to make it circular, first of all, we need to say goodbye to landfills. Because landfills, we lose the materials and we have the bad chance of having horrible emissions of methane, which is a huge greenhouse gas. Then waste to energy. Some people praise it. I would say we are losing those molecules and atoms, and it's like incinerating coal or oil. We can do better than that. And of course, if we say no to those two options, we don't need that much of a virgin material. So for the sake of illustration, imagine that circle as a place where those materials flow. So let's imagine we closed those getaway places, landfill, incineration, and we don't need virgin materials. So what to do? What can we improve that? Because usually recycling is being considered as the best options. No, it's the lowest preferred option in a circular economy. What can we do? Well, first of all, in the design side, we can make things that last very long time. So as quintessential example would be Miele dishwasher. Amazing, lasts for very, very long time. So we don't need to, how could I say, repair it a lot or throw it away. It can serve us for a long, long time. Another example are repairability index, which allows us to repair things. So again, materials last longer. Then reuse. In Lithuania, there is a social initiative station there where people can donate their things to other people, or you can just sell them on the market. So again, reuse. We don't need new things. And also, we can refurbish them. So still better than recycling, because a lot of electronic waste may be not suitable for us, but are suitable to some other people who have lower demands. So by this way, by keeping the highest value possible of those materials and molecules, we can make that circle increase. So the time of those materials is being longer. So what else could we do in circular economy? Well, we could use product as a service. So for example, in Lithuania, and especially in Vilnius, is Spark, electric mobility via sharing. Amazing thing. So on average, the car is used about 5% of the time. So it could serve maybe not 20 families, but 10 families, yes. Then we can rent things and use it as we need it, because usually if we have a drill, it's at most used 2-3 times a year. So it's a lot cheaper and a lot of lower requirement for new materials. When we can, it goes down from the value. So we can exchange also or rent to each other photo cameras, anything. And of course, a new sector goes as other services like molecules for as a service in chemical industry and lighting as a service as well, which is Philips pioneering, where you pay not for light bulb, you pay for light. And what this allows for a manufacturer to make something that lasts very, very time, and it might be more expensive in the initial case for the manufacturer to make it, but it goes back as a cheaper light over a very long time. So if we have a long cycle, we can make it thinner because of sharing economy. We can use those materials more intensively. So how do we achieve it? Well, innovation is the best option. As an example, we can look at solar power. It came down multiple times, and the batteries, electric mobility, due to innovation, we can get new materials which we can use, which are recyclable and then can replace toxic materials. Then, of course, fiscal policy. It could be taxes, like a carbon tax, or it could be subsidy for renewable energy, and market regulations, which we could say no, we don't want certain molecules in our system because they're toxic. This way we change. Also, to add about the challenges, phthalates, because they are in a sewage system, my look would be how to avoid them getting there in the first place. Because once they're in, it's very difficult for them to get them out of there. And looking at the system, it's best if we can prevent those molecules, because phthalates are very specific molecule which is used in a specific industry, which could be more or less tracked down. Regarding biomass ash, there are biomass ash and biomass ash. It's a different, due to different process. If it's a small factory, they're all going to be more like sandish. But if it's a small biomass incinerator, they might end up as more or less as glass objects. So there's a lot of importance to see where they. Sometimes we don't usually able to control where in they're growing that biomass, but due to biomass incineration efficiency, those even small percentages of pollutants stay in them. So basically, circular economy is the future, and how we work with it will show how we're going to live healthy or not. Thank you.
Let's come back again to the screen and see which of the challenges you found the most. No, the question was a bit different. That's fine. Is circular economy the key to a sustainable future? We had two answers. No, it's just a buzzword. Yes, it will play a big role. I'm so happy that there's so many of you that are aware about the greenwashing and don't believe in it. And of course, it's only for us to do an actual impact with circular economy. Okay, so said that, I'd like everyone to look at the screens now, because we have a very small but very pleasurable surprise from the organizers. With a round of your applause, I'd like to invite Justinas Kulikauskas for a short musical break or musical performance. All eyes on the screen. Thank you so much, Justinas, for a really beautiful musical performance. And now let's move on to our next chapter with challenges, and I'd like to invite Jonas Damidavičius, head of the Sustainable Mobility at State Company Connecting Services, to present another section, Green Transport. Jonas, please join me, and for everyone, don't forget to vote on the Slido platform. Jonas, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So, hello everyone. My name is Jonas Damidavičius, and I'm head of Sustainable Mobility from a municipality enterprise Connecting Services. So, I'm very pleased that this hackathon is taking place during European Mobility Week. So, I'm encouraging you to celebrate it and actively use the sustainable ways of transport all this week. When we're talking about green transport, first of all, we have to know why we are pursuing it. As we are becoming more mobile, we increasing carbon footprint, and it's increasing very dramatically and very fast. So European Commission set some long-term regulations to move toward on non-polluted economy area. White paper of transport seeks to reduce half of conventionally fueled cars in urban areas by 2030 and phase them out in cities by 2050. European Green Deal seeks to reduce 90% of CO2 emissions by 2030. So what does it mean, these two targets for member states and cities? It means more investments in sustainable transport, new solutions, new way of travel, and the way of thinking how we plan the cities and how we use the spaces. So these two targets are included in national targets, and one of them is increase the fleet of electric vehicles to 15% by 2030. So it's a very big challenge to do this because, to be clear, now we do not even have 0.5% of electric vehicles in total fleet of cars. So it's a big challenge not even to increase the number of electric cars, but to provide charging infrastructure and also to ensure that it could be charged also electric bicycles, electric scooters, or electric public transport. Next one, across the Europe, cities developing sustainable urban mobility plans and set the actions how to achieve it and how to implement it. So Vilnius also have sustainable urban mobility plan adopted in 2018, and in this plan there are more than 100 measures how to change the travel in Vilnius and how to become more and more sustainable. So this document could be a very good source for hackathon teams to find out and get some knowledge about city planning and sustainable mobility concept. And last one, but very new one, is new target set in alternative law of alternative fuel at the beginning of this year is to set low pollution areas by 2023 in every municipality. So this is a new concept, this is a new idea, and municipalities do not have how to do it, how to regulate it, and what measures should be implemented to meet this goal. When we're talking about green transport, green transport always related with concept of sustainable mobility. So this concept is opposite like traditional transportation planning, where we focus more on pedestrians, where we focus more on cyclists and public transport, and less focus on private cars. This doesn't mean that we're not investing in our streets or roads. This means that we want to create a balance between different modes of moving, different modes of transport, and give that an opportunity for residents to travel and to choose alternative ways of travel. So situation of Vilnius in some figures, so 38 in Lithuania and 90% in Vilnius means the pollution caused by cars. And this is very huge number, and traffic and transport sector is one of the polluted sector. So this is a big problem, and we have to find the ways how to dramatically reduce it. And when I'm talking about pollution, I'm also talking about not that we're using cars not every time necessary. So it's not a choice of transport. It's a way how we're using. And one of the problem is when we're driving around and trying to find free spot of parking. So this is a big problem for municipalities which do not have any system or which do not have any solution how to track free parking spots and give it to drivers. Almost 80,000 residents means that they are living in a high noise area. 32 hours, this number shows how much time we spend on cars annually in congestions. So you can imagine how much free time and or working time we spend on the car. 1.32 means that only every sixth car are driven by more than one person. 15% monthly budget we spend on using our car, and 800 EVs means that the number, how much EVs we have nowadays in Vilnius, and I'm coming back with a national target to have 15% by 2030. So it shows up how big this challenge is to meet the goal. In this slide, you can see the model split of Vilnius, and it means that in 2017, before Sustainable Urban Mobility Plan was prepared, these daily journeys was made by this mode of transport, and half of it was private cars. So what we are willing to have in 2030 is to have the balance between the different mode of transports, 30% of cars, 30% of public transport, and almost 30% traveling by foot. And over 7.5% by bicycles and other micromobility modes, and 4% for sharing systems, for example, car sharing, e-scooter sharing, and etc. And finally, I would like to show a very funny picture of how we have to think about planning and sustainable mobility. It's one measure, it's not a solution for the city. Solution is a complex of effective and related measures in one place. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jonas, for a chance to have a very interesting glance at the situation in the Vilnius connected with urban mobility. And now, everyone, please, let's look again at the screen and see how did you vote this time. What modes of green transport will overtake cars in world's most major cities by 2030? We had four answers to choose from you. Electric vehicles, hybrid cars, electric bikes, hybrid buses. And majority of you, 53%, chose electric vehicles. And I'd like to remind the joke that we just saw on the screen. Making wider roads doesn't help us with traffic jams. Of course, but that's your voting result. And now let's move on to our last, fourth category of green data. To present this challenge, I'd like to invite Stasys Savilionis, Data Development Manager at the Plan of Vilnius. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
The floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Stasys, and today I'm going to speak about green data. So first, let's answer the question, what is green data? And no, in this case, green is not about the color. It's about something else. So what data is green? Data that makes our products, services, life more efficient. Also, data that saves our spendings, time and resources needed. We call that green data. Also, the green data should be the correct, precise, and up-to-date. That means it should be accurate. It should be complete. That means that all possible data that is required is present. It should be reliable. That means that there are no conflicts within or between the system. It should be unique. That means that there shouldn't be any duplicates. And here comes a good example of Vilnius. So Vilnius this year started to implement a data-based decision-making platform. That means that we will have to integrate quite a lot of different data sources, from files, applications, legacy systems, databases, and so on. Then we will have to work with that, we'll have to clean the data, we'll have to transform the data, and by transform, I mean transform into insights, into decision-making results. One of the key aspects of the data platform will be the open data for future product developments and investments. The key aspects of data platform are here. For example, it should be open. That means that it should be open for all types of sources, data sources, formats, and structures. It should be flexible. That means that it should have the opportunities for rapid development of data processes and algorithms. It should be simple. That means that it requires as minimal as possible support, and at the same time enables our developers, our data engineers and analysts to develop it. It should be traceable. That means that components, that platform has to have components and tools that trace the users easily. And last but not least, it should be safe. That means that all personal data protections and regulations should be implemented. Why do we need this data platform and why do we need these data? These are a few examples, for example, for future infrastructure planning, for roads, schools, hospitals, and etc. Also, we have to analyze the behavior of our citizens before taking the decision, not after that. And also one of the aspects is the automated image processing to recognize the status and the condition of the infrastructure from the images. What is the value for Vilnius? So that data-based decision-making solutions are more accurate, they are more clear and more understandable. No data duplicates means we need a smaller infrastructure, and smaller infrastructure means less electricity. Also, as I mentioned, it's a good area for developing future products and innovations. Actually, all three mentioned above points relates to one thing, to euros. So we could say that green data equals to euros or savings. So what we should do, we should share, we should analyze data, we should work with data, and we should reuse the data. Here I'm sharing some useful links for your hackathon for open data in Vilnius. Please ask organizers to share these links with you. I believe that they might be useful for you. Thank you a lot and good luck.
Thank you so much, Stasis. And yes, indeed, we will share with the useful links with all of the participants. And now, let's look again at the Slido for the last voting results. What trends that will shape the data centers industry the most? Automation and robotics, energy storage, sustainability or edge computing, and majority of you, 67%, chose automation and robotics. Now, it's 60 already. Okay, let's keep it on the screen. Maybe the results will change even more drastically. I'm joking, and guys, that was it. 12 different challenges that are being combined under 4 blocks: heating and cooling, circular economy, green energy, and green transport. And you may ask, why do we even bother? Not only we will create a real impact altogether in 3 days, I'd like to announce the most pleasurable part now, the prize pool. The hackathon winners will be awarded with a prize worth of 200,000 euros. If that's a small amount, I don't know what prize pool would you expect. The winning team will also get the opportunity to settle in Vilnius City Innovation Industrial Park, sign a long-term cooperation agreement with Vilnius City, and establish in a land plot in the Innovation Industrial Park with the fully developed infrastructure to create solutions that will foster change. In addition to that, the winners will be awarded money prizes. The first place will be awarded with 1,000 euros, second place with 700 euros, and the third place with 500 euro prize. Cool, nice, right? Let's move on to our next and the most important part. The participants of this hackathon, the teams that will spend 3 amazing days trying to come up with really and truly promising solutions. Today we're happy to announce that we have as many as 19 amazing teams that reached the starting position of this Intelligent Energy Lab Hackathon. Even more exciting fact is that we have teams from 16 different countries from all around the world. From Singapore to Canada, from Indonesia to Nigeria, from Italy to Lithuania, from Spain to Scandinavia. Good luck, guys. Good luck with the challenges you've chosen to beat. And everyone knows that not a single thing has ever been built by working alone, right? Allow me to present to you our amazing mentors that agreed to give up their knowledge, experience, and everything they can in order to help you succeed. Not in a respective manner, but just I'd like to announce each and every one of those amazing people that will be working together with you. Žilvinas Giedraitis, investment analyst at Contrarian Ventures. Zenius Rinkevičius, leader of engineer team at Vilnius Šilumos tinklai. Tomas Nickus, mobility expert, board member at Susisiekimo paslaugos. Vilius Stanislauskas, head of automation and electrical division at Vilnius Šilumos tinklai. Dr. Vytautas Šiožinis, CEO at Energy Energy Advice, Renatas Kandratas, Junior Account Manager at Blue Oceans PR, Peter Anderberg, Founder and CEO at the Heat Academy, Paulius Grigaliūnas, Project Manager at Sweco, Patrikas Feiferas, Investment Analyst at Contrarian Ventures. Also, Kęstutis Paulavičius, Project Manager at Danfoss, Gytautas Kaulakys, Head of Technological Division at Vilnius Šilumos tinklai, Gintarė Janušaitienė, Advisor of Future Mobility Policy Group on Sustainable Mobility at Lithuanian Republic Ministry of Transport and Communications, Marius Pastarnokas, Director at Uponor, Edvinas Pakalnickas, Head of IT at Telecentras, Andrius Balsys, Innovation Specialist at Agency for Science, Innovation and Technology, Neringa Dubauskienė, Lecturer at Kaunas University of Technology, Aurelijus Rinkevičius, Chair of Experimental Nuclear and Particle Physics Center at Vilnius University, Vytautas Budreika at Publicum Institution, Lithuanian Energy Agency, and last but not least, Frank Levinson, Venture Partner and Co-Founder at Phoenix Venture Partners. Thank you again, dear mentors. You have a really important role in the nearest 3 days. We nearly reached the most important part when you can actually start to code, or let's get the things done already. But before this, allow me to present to you the people that will choose the winning teams. Allow me to present the people that will select who will get the 200,000 euros. Yes, exactly, our dear honorable jury. I'd like to invite each and everyone, or at least to showcase them to you guys. Paulius Martinkus, Chief Strategy and Business Development Officer at Vilnius District Heating Company. Can we have applause here at the hall? Yay, thank you. Hello. Also, we have Dr. Eglė Radvilė, author of Vilnius Digital Strategy, Digital Train Board, and Harvard Digital Program member. Hello, Eglė.
Hello, everyone.
Also, Peter Anderberg, founder and CEO at the Heat Academy. He's with us today digitally. Tomas Nickus, mobility expert, board member at Connecting Services. Hello, Tomas.
Hello.
Nice to have you here. And last but not least, Rokas Pečiulaitis, founding and managing partner at Contrarian Ventures. He's also with us today digitally. Dear jury, can I ask for some warm greeting words? Eglė, maybe you'd like to say something.
Okay, so I'm very happy here. I'm very happy that event is now and everybody is now waiting for tomorrow and the day after. And I hope so that these results, the main will be to be together, not just to have a prototype, not to have a pitch, but just to have networking and create something good for Vilnius.
Thank you so much. Paulius, what is the most important outcome of any hackathon?
Well, definitely to have a good time, as Eglė said, and to create new ideas, to collect new ideas, to brainstorm on new ideas, and to gather a team. And I think it's we have the prize, which is really valuable. So on that side, it's worthwhile to give a try and to present really good business case.
Understood. Thomas, do you have your favorite challenge that you'd really like to be beaten up?
I think, yes, I have. Everybody knows that parking is a very big problem in our city, in Europe and other countries, and I think we can find some news for that problem. And also we have not so much electric cars, so I want that in Vilnius we have a lot.
Understood. Dear jury, I do understand you're going to be very much fierce this weekend, but maybe you could give us a bit of the tips and tricks how teams get closer to you and really earn your sympathies.
Yes, so on that side, definitely we would look for really smart solutions. Smart solutions, I mean, look at the problem, define the problem, define the context where is the problem, and have a clear goal, what you are solving, and then definitely provide the solution that is innovative and realistic to implement.
Rokas, you do represent the very fierce field of venture capital. What would be your tips for the participating teams in the hackathon?
Articulate your ideas clearly and really be probably consistent with the problem solution. I think product market fit is something that kills majority of the team. So I encourage you to really think about a clear vision how you develop that product and milestones and how you can attract that capital subsequently if you go to pursue that problem solution eventually as a team.
Amazing, thank you so much. And Agla, what would be your tips and tricks? How can people get your attention?
I think they and we should focus on digital, green, and human. So these three together will rise some nice ideas.
Amazing. And Thomas, you're finalizing this with your own tips and tricks. What will be the most important things you will be evaluating during the evaluation session?
I think it's the most look at problem from other corner.
Understood. So, said that, thank you so much, dear jury. Thank you so much for being here today. And I wish you a very productive 3 days together with the teams. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it, everyone. I wish everyone a really productive days. You have an amazing support from a huge crowd of experienced mentors and organizers. And few things from myself. Remember, the main rule of any hackathon, there are no stupid questions. It's very stupid not to ask. And don't forget maybe the most important thing, have fun while working. Thank you again, everyone, and have a very productive 3 days. And see you all soon at the final pitches.